First up, Booker T responds to Swerve Strickland. After AEW Dynasty 2025 concluded, Swerve Strickland addressed a live audience in Philadelphia, emphasizing his commitment to representation in wrestling, and concluded with the appointed mark for Booker T. This comment is the latest development in the ongoing exchange between Strickland and the WWE Hall of Famer Booker T. The tension between Booker T and Swerve started when Booker T stated that he'd been treated fairly during his 2-decade tenure with WWE. In response, during a Vlad TV interview, Strickland referenced a controversial 2005 WWE segment where Vince McMahon used a racial slur in front of Booker T, suggesting that such incidents contradicted Booker T's claim of fair treatment. Booker T addressed Strickland's remarks on his Hall of Fame podcast, revealing that he confronted Strickland in person at the live event in Richmond, Virginia. Booker T expressed disappointment in Strickland, stating, "You got played, bro," and criticized Vlad TV for attempting to create conflict between them. During the latest edition of his Hall of Fame podcast, the two-time WWE Hall of Famer issued a response. He said, "Woke up this morning and I wondered, why is my name trending? I see the video of Swerve Strickland saying F Booker T at the end of Dynasty. I'm not even going to get upset about it. I'm going to give Swerve Strickland a little bit of advice, just a little bit. That advice would be, don't be talking about something other than the pay-per-view at the end of the night. That's the main event and the last thing people are going to remember. The last people are going to remember is me, my name being said. I'm sure Tony Khan doesn't appreciate the news, the headline not being what happened at Dynasty with all the matches. They're talking about Booker T. That was a bad move. He's got a lot of energy at the end of the show. I'm not that type. I'm from that school. If you got something to say to somebody, you say it to their face. I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully Swerve Strickland has a hell of a career and he'll do very well in this business. I'm going to keep stressing what I've talked about for a long time. Go out there and get it on your talent and merit. Nobody will ever be able to say you got it because of only for your talent. I'm going to keep advocating for the young guys to go out there and perform at the highest level. Take what you want. It's not going to be given to you. You got to take it. The only way to take it is through your performance and how good you really are inside the squared circle. That's as much as I'm going to say on that issue as far as Swerve Strickland goes. He then continued to say the only one laughing is Vlad TV. He got all this stuff started and stirred up. I thought this thing was over with. I really did. The last thing I thought about was waking up in the morning to a FU. This generation, man. I'm an advocate for all young black talent to get into this business, but I'm an advocate for so many young kids than just black kids. I'm an advocate for anybody who has talent to actually make it to the next level. I'll put a word in for them. I think my reputation has been solid. I don't publicize a lot of things. The guys out there, they know. They know if they've been on the side of righteousness. They know what Booker T has done behind the scenes. I don't have to talk about it on social media. I'm not trying to get extra brownie points for anything I've done, but they know. People like Swerve, we come from a different cloth, a totally different cloth. I wish nothing but the best for the dude. I want to see him succeed. Would I ever say anything positive about him ever again? Probably not. Would I ever put him over as far as being a good worker and perhaps transform this business? I probably won't do that again. I've learned my lesson. I ain't gonna bring a personal beat to my job. When it comes to the situation, I actually agree with Booker T and Swerve. I agree that Booker T being treated fair isn't Swerve's definition of being treated fair. And I'm actually with Swerve on that. But what I don't like is him actually going on Vlad TV because Booker T is absolutely right in that regard. Vlad is the one laughing in the end. And in the end, I do like how Booker T handled it. The whole statement, I don't like the whole statement, but I thought it was, he probably said a little bit too much, but I do like how he handled it in the end and just not going back and forth with Swerve and pretty much just trying to dead it at that point. Hopefully there's not another back and forth as far as Swerve coming on another Vlad interview or something else and just saying something else about Booker T. Hopefully it will be done after that. But what do you guys think about the whole situation? Who do you think was actually in the wrong? Do you think Booker T was in the wrong, or do you think Swerve was in the wrong? Let us know below. Next up, Gunther talks WrestleMania pressure and excitement with his match with Jey Uso. Gunther joined Sam Roberts and Megan Morant for an interview on the official Raw Recap podcast after the April 7th episode of WWE Raw in Minneapolis, Minnesota. One of the questions being asked was about the pressure of being a champion as he's headed into WrestleMania 41. Gunther responded by saying, "I never had an issue with fitting in those situations. I always knew what I'm capable of. Always knew where I belong. So it was never a question for me that I would end up in those positions. Even though this year, it's not the scenario I wanted to be in. I have an opponent that's overreaching by a mile. That is not on my level, and that's what I'm carrying around with me right now. And I'm going into that. If you ask me, am I excited? I don't know. I don't think there's much excitement to that. I think there's mostly, I'm a professional wrestler, I'm the world heavyweight champion, there's a duty to fulfill, and I'm going to do that. The next thing he answered was his excitement level headed into this year's WrestleMania. His response was, I think my personal feelings is too intimate of a question to answer. I think I'm here to fulfill my duties as world heavyweight champion. That's what I'm doing right now. Overall, I like him constantly trying to downplay Jey, even after what Jey just said about him praying to the Lord about what he's going to do to Gunther at WrestleMania because of what Gunther did to Jimmy. I wish he would have showed it more when Jey was actually saying it, though, instead of seemingly being annoyed or surprised during the actual monologue. But it's cool. In the end, I do think Gunther is making the same mistake he did with Sammy when it comes to this WrestleMania match of not taking him seriously, and then in the end he's going to end up losing, which will cost him another title. And with that in mind, should Gunther lose at WrestleMania for the second consecutive year? What do you guys think? And what do you guys think of Gunther's interview on the Raw Recap podcast? Let us know. Be sure to check out new audio episodes of the Two Small Marks Wrestling Show every Saturday. And be sure to like and subscribe for more videos.